Hey everybody, want to Wisdom here. Brand new recording session. It is 3:06 a.m. Saturday, December 14th. I think I'm not 100% sure here what I said I was gonna do. I do remember we last recorded, I guess like intro 16 here, the last one, number 15. We did Legendary Free Ranger, of course, following up Free Ranger at the back end of the 3DS starter pack. My initial plan, I think, was to actually come in and do Legendary Night Shift, and then I'd kind of use that as a segue to Night Shift, and then that to Hoot Loop and Enchanted. Still gonna do that. I'm just gonna do Boom Jet first. Don't know why, I just kind of feel like doing that. For what it's worth, my logic there was Free Ranger is an air element swapper, and Boom Jet is an air element swapper. So I think at least what I'm planning on doing now, probably going to be Boom Jet this time. Then I'm going to go into Magna Charge and Nitro Magna Charge, just because Rocket and the speed seem to correlate better to me. And then we will probably do either Hoot Loop or Night Shift, or possibly Firecracken and Gorilla Dread. Really doesn't matter, we're going to do all of them. It's just I'm trying to pick some way. My thoughts were, this makes sense since it's air, and then that translates to the speed of, Magna Charge. And then I was thinking if I did Legendary Night Shift last I could use that to kind of lead into Legendary Light Core Grim Creeper, then Legendary Zulu, and into our, brand new characters. That said, we're going to quit rambling. Might do something extra here. If not, I'll try to remember to tell you what it was. Gonna back out. Literally just came in here. I checked that sign. Apparently today is plus 10 elemental bonus. You can see I've got Legendary Free Ranger here still on the portal. Gonna go ahead and pull him. And this will technically be Boom Jet's first time in the actual playthrough. My nephew and I think have used him once or twice in battle mode.
Bombs away!
Alright, so here he is, 126 coins. Might have been in several battle modes. As you can see, based on his level 1 stat, there's like literally nothing there. He kind of looks like a Brett Favre crossed with Mega Man to me. I don't know if that's why he's appealing. Just a really cool character in my opinion. Had a couple of folks on the blog said Boom Jet was A, one of their most anticipated, and then B, since it came out so early, they stuck to that. They upgraded him, obviously said that they really like him. So hopefully the same will go for myself. Slogan, of course, is Bombs Away. Before I forget, we're actually going to go ahead and go straight into the story here, and I'll actually remember to show that to you. So there we go, collection, of course. Alright, so here's what the air element screen looks like. Of course, we're going to come in here to Boom Jet. Again, a lot of the new characters, swappers in particular, have like really long stories, so it's kind of small font for you. Nonetheless, Boom Jet, Bombs Away. No matter what Boom Jet did, he always had to be the best. He could be seen day and night above his home in the billowy cloud plains, gunning his engines and performing daredevil maneuvers as he trained to become the best sky surfer in all of Skylanders. Unfortunately, Boom Jet never had a chance to compete for the championship because a day came that changed his life forever. The darkness had come. This is very similar, at least in the pretense here, is what we saw with Free Ranger. Yurikali kind of stood at the verge of leaping into the darkness. And with his town on the verge of being completely consumed by the ominous evil force, Boom Jet took action. Using his incredible flying skills, he raced from house to house, rescuing all of the citizens and carrying them to safety, just before the darkness destroyed his homeland. It was then he realized the protection of Skylands was more important than personal glory, so he sought out Master Eon to offer his services to the Skylanders. This being also one of those instances where we actually have a character pursue Eon as opposed to tales of the heroism, spreading to Eon and Eon recruiting them. So, very admirable there of Boom Jet. We're going to back out now. Let's go ahead, I guess, We'll come in here, take a look
Firing
at
on all cylinders.
stats. I believe you said firing on all cylinders there. Again, kind of skewed a little bit on elemental power because of the fact that we actually have the plus 10 bonus. So otherwise it would be plus 7. Again, nothing special for legendary. Free ranger doesn't count as a plus 7 there either. Max health, and again, he is actually box stock. We're getting in the reason I haven't played some of these characters. Like granted, Magna Charge has appeared now, but just because they're speed zones, obviously there's not a freeze blade. I tried to kind of withhold some of them so they would be truly box stock here for you. Max health 260, speed 43, armor 24, critical hit 6, elemental power 25. Now we're going to back out of here. We're actually going to look at his upgrades. Again, being a Swap Force character, you have upgrades not only for the top segment of the character, but also the bottom. So we'll begin, take a look at the top here. His base attack, Y button, primary, whatever you need to call it, football bomb. Press Y to throw a football sized bomb. We'll run over there to the training grounds, kind of try to get some damage numbers here shortly. First purchased upgrade is going to be Airstrike. Press X to call for help from the skies, and Airstrike shoots projectiles at enemies on the ground. That's pretty cool. I believe it's standard on the 3DS version, or I unlocked it really fast. Pretty neat little upgrade there. Then his second purchased upgrade is called Tight Spiral. Press Y to throw a football bomb that does increased damage. Again, that's pretty nice. And lastly, this one's supposed to make a big difference in terms of him just at base abilities. Go long. Hold Y to charge a football bomb, release to throw a super bomb. So that's kind of akin to like trigger happy type stuff, the Golden Yamato Blast, charged guns prior to that. So hopefully the damage numbers are somewhat similar. Now you get to a point, and again, this is on the top half boom, if you will. You got two paths here that you can take. First one, or the top one for the top, is going to be Storm Bomber path. It begins with Storm Bomb, fittingly. Hold Y, yet again, to charge a football bomb, release to create storm clouds where the bomb lands that shock nearby enemies. This sounds really cool, kind of akin to like a whirlwindish type deal, or a chaining rainbows. Kind of correlates to Tesla Dragon, or not Tesla Dragon, can't think of it now. Tempest, I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for. Cool thing here, if you didn't know, I'm big into particularly NFL, not huge on like collegiate stuff or anything, but NFL, real big on that. But other thing, again, I'm a fan of is meteorology. So we got football and storms going together. It's literally a perfect storm for me, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Final upgrade, which is second and only one on Storm Bomber path. It is called Unfriendly Skied. Storm Bombs does increased damage. Shocking. So that's kind of like a one-trick pony. Basically, wherever the football bomb, the super bomb lands, I'm guessing it's not any bomb, but it actually has to be the charged one. We're going to have the storm clouds, lightning, and then this one just basically enhances that damage. That doesn't interest you? You can come down here and take Squad Leader path. This one begins with bombers. Airstrike now drops bombs that do damage in a large area. Sounds pretty promising. And then tight formation, props for keeping to the football theme here. Press X to call in an airstrike that does increase damage. So again, basically the same thing here. You're either going to opt for the upgrade to the airstrike ability, the tertiary attack, or you're just going to go with like the primary continuing into the eruption of a storm. Cool thing with the swappers though, they have got soul gems not only for the top, also for the bottom. Top here is called Supply Drop. This one could come in handy if you're having trouble. Maybe you've got all his upgrades or something. This would be kind of like a Sylvan Regeneration, Camos type powers, Stump Smash in the water. Whatever it might be, this has a chance to help you out with health benefits. Airstrike has a chance to drop health supplies if health is low. So, be on the lookout for that. Obviously, if you're upgrading, you're having some trouble, this is one of those characters that you could bring in, in that tough area. Maybe he's about to die. He might get that extra bit of health once or twice, and that'll help you clear the area. So, We will back out now, actually going to take a look at the bottom. Again, if you get confused, just know that all of this stuff is for the bottom half of Boom Jet. You can call it Jet, the lower end, the bottom, whatever you need to do. His base attack that we've already got, just plain Jane box stock, is called Wind Turbine. Hold A to shoot wind at nearby enemies, pushing them backwards. So this is kind of like the polar opposite of Jet Vac. Jet Vac's got suction. He kind of has get away from the air, high pressurized stuff coming out. So first purchased upgrade, Mach 1. Press A 2 times to dash forward. Hold A to continue dashing very quickly. High hopes for this one. As you should know from all my Skylander stuff, I'm a big fan of the hit and run strategies. Obviously that works best with a character that can actually run. That's a key aspect of that equation. So if this gets him a little extra speed under these circumstances, it will make him a much more well-balanced character. Second purchased upgrade, Ace Pilot. Speed is increased. Awesome. Tuned up with a brand new turbo. Can't go wrong there. We'll have to see if we get a whooshing sound. Lastly, a final purchased upgrade for the bottom half, we've got Turbulence. Hold A to shoot 3 homing propellers at enemies. The bottom half is shaping up to be really cool in my opinion. We're at the point now you've got to pick a path. Top path here, again for the bottom, my apologies if that's confusing. Skyrider path begins with skywriting. A smoke trail is left behind while dashing that stuns and damages enemies. This, of course, you can kind of correlate it to Flame Slinger's dash, Zap down Slime Serpent, Cinder's Phantom dash. Just going to be really helpful as you're speeding away, perhaps from a hit and run or to evade damage. You'll actually be leaving something in your wake that will damage enemies while you flee, not attacking. Next up on the Skyrider path is Thick Smoke. Again, just like on the top end, this basically enhances what we just saw in Skyriding. Skyriding does increase damage and stays around longer, so kind of a win-win there. Extra damage, extra duration. Now, for some reason that doesn't interest you, you want to go more in-your-face, aggressive attack mode, you've got Ace Gunner path. Maybe one of the best path names just in terms of intimidation factor. It begins with Gunship. Again, that correlates nicely with that intimidation theme. Press A to shoot missiles from a powerful new mounted turret. For those purists out there that really like the way that jet engine looks like this is going to mod out that base, kind of add the turret gun on the side. Keep that in mind, not really a big deal. For some people though, that might lean you to take Skyrider. Now the final one down Ace Gunner is going to be Rocket Fuel. A new turret design makes Gunship do increased damage. Can't really tell much from that inset, looks the same to me, but we'll figure it out as we progress. Now, Soul Gem for the bottom half. This is going to be valuable regardless of the path you take. Mach 2. Mach 1 speed is increased and a large blast damages enemies at the beginning of the dash. This is a deal I may actually, if possible, I don't know when I'll upgrade him, might buy those 3 purchased upgrades, the base ones, and then get the Soul Gem before actually picking a path. That's kind of how much I think of that type of a Soul Gem. So, that said, I think he is shaping up to be quite an interesting character. Sad thing with Boom Jet, short of there being like some chase variant I'm unaware of at this point in time, no legendary, no Jade. I think he would have been a good candidate for a Nitro actually. Obviously sticking with the speed theme, it makes sense to do Magna Charge and Freeze Blade, who we don't have yet. The Rocket to me kind of fits in that same category. Blast Zone, of course, you've got Dark Blast Zone. Granted, he might be a little harder to obtain, but you can get a second one. It's just at that point in time you're spending another $15 to get the same thing you've already got. If it was, say, Nitro or Enchanted or Legendary, you don't have to kind of feel like you're replicating the same thing. It's kind of, you get the benefit of taking the other path and a new standalone character. So I know some people complain and there's all the legendaries and darks, it's ridiculous. To me, it's a good thing, because I would then, if I didn't have Enchanted Hoot Loop or Legendary Night Shift, I'd be doubling up my purchase on the standard character. So if they change some things aesthetically, works well for me. At least that's my sentiment. Obviously, if he's your favorite character, not that big a deal. Go ahead and pick up another one. It's just one of those things. If, say, you love Firecracking and Drilla, Boomjet's not really your favorite. You don't want to take the time to get the coins back or the money to upgrade down the other path. That's where, if, say, had a legendary version, you just be like, okay, I'll take his other deal, and then you might love the character. So that's always one I'm interested in. That said, we'll come in here. We can take a look at his quests. Kind of having some trouble breathing here. Begins again. These first 6 to me are really basic. Bad Guy Basher, defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 pieces of fruits, don't lose health in the non-story mode, win 10 PvP. This one I'm a big fan of. I'll quit elaborating on it. You're probably tired of hearing it, but it encourages you to take all the upgrades for the character, and that way, you know, if you hate Boomjet, you know, based on his first purchased upgrades, maybe things change when you actually get the soul gem or pick a path, you know. This one here, again, to me, should just be standard. Do 7,500 elemental bonus damage. Again, since it is elemental, I guess that's why it's, you know, air icon specific, etc. Now, air element specific, the ones that really matter. This one right here, Geronimo. Travel over 250 feet in one fall. I was debating this one, wondering where to do it. It wasn't recorded because I did it after the Elf Free Ranger introduction. When you go to that bonus area and you come back, it actually covers the 250 feet, so this is a true cakewalk. If I have time here, I'll try to show you. Sky Looter, collect a total of 500 gold in midair. I don't think that'll be too hard, just kind of time consuming. Now, the big one here, literally the big one, and it's also important. This is Boomjet's personal quest. It's called Tactical Strides. Defeat 747 enemies with your airstrike ability. Obviously, you've got to have the first purchased upgrade at least. There are some things you can do that kind of are going to improve that, you know, pace, but just kind of depends what you want to do. Now, let's go ahead and get out of here. We will rocket down this way. He's already shooting at. What's that? He doesn't have any upgrades. Okay, so the that's interesting. The little inset there on the upgrades actually doesn't say this, but what is happening? You know, they said it's actually, I believe, hold A to shoot wind at nearby enemies, pushing them backwards. So let's demonstrate with that sheep, since he's not near anything. I'm going to shoot the propeller, but then I'm holding A and it'll move the enemy. Thing is, if you just tap A, you're already shooting propellers. So, secondary attack, primary on the bottom end, whatever you need to call it, it's a little bit, you know, of a timed attack, and not in the sense that it requires your precision, just in the sense that, hey, you're going to have to, you know, wait a bit. 15 to 23 damage. You primarily see 15s. I saw 123 in there. Now, his primary attack, though, the one for the top end, you can see he's chucking some football bombs here. We got some 35s going on. Seems to be steady at 35. Let's turn here. 35, of course, is going to be the main damage. Trying to get maybe a little bit more trajectory here. Well, I mean, it's safe enough to say 35, so 35 primary, 15 to 23 secondary. I feel good with those numbers. Now, what does he look like jumping? There you go. Basically what he does, he doesn't do like the fancy somersaults or flips in the air, but he kind of tweaks the rocket engine there. Kind of spins it over on its side. What I'll go ahead and do for you, it's probably quicker if we do this actually. Just to highlight, this will be something if you're trying to do quests. I know a lot of people, you know, have been doing the playthrough longer than me, or you've already completed the game, or, you know, waiting on stink bomb type scenarios. What you can actually do, you do have to go obviously all the way up here, but this is one of the little kind of like cash cow areas, if you will. Won't make a ton of money, you know, but I mean it is worth something. Get all the way up this tree, which does take some time. Quite a bit of time. I'm actually recording. I usually do this kind of at my own leisure, you know. Let's see if he can get those fireworks to go off. Blast Zone can actually get those fireworks to like literally shoot fireworks. No other character has been able to do that. But we're gonna come in here. This is just that quick little kind of like Mario platforming deal. That right there. Note when he dropped down, that's going to count as Geronimo. You don't see it yet, but you'll see it very soon. You got quite a few options in terms of, ooh, that was bad, how you can attempt to do this. I'm sure there's a way to get like everything. In all honesty, I wouldn't like even attempt to get anything, but I really need the money given how many characters we have here, so that's what I'm going to do. I won't get all of it, but I'll get the majority here. I'm not even going to backtrack. I like to err on the side of keeping this, shorter, making my life easier in terms of time. There have been times, I've gone through here and actually gotten everything. There's a couple of coins, these two on this back side or something, they're a little harder to get. Main thing, is like the big gems. You get those taken care of, you're pretty well home free. Alright, now, what you want to do though, Geronimo right there is complete. So essentially, you climb all the way up to the top of that tree, come back down, dropping in right here, behind Rufus. That little portal that takes you to that platforming area. That takes care of Geronimo. So the only thing that I can complain about is that there's not 500 gold as you fall, because that would have taken care of 2 of the air element quests. So that would have been really cool. But nonetheless, if you were concerned about Geronimo, you've been racking your brain. There's a lot of people probably do that all the time, but maybe you're doing it with your favorite character. Bumble Blast, Jolly Bumble Blast, Firecracking, it's not registering for you, obviously. Simple, easy way to get your air element quest for Geronimo done. So, that said, this is Boomjet. I am obviously pretty big on the guy. I have high hopes for his upgrades. I think that's really going to set him apart, so hopefully those pan out for us. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here. My plan now, I think what I will do is go ahead, we'll go Magna Charge and Nitro Magna Charge. Past that, not 100% sure. I'll figure it out. Probably going to be doing it here in a couple hours. I'd withheld Magna Charge again, but then I think it was like Chapter 4, I think, had like the speed challenge, so I kind of had to use them. But then there was, I think, a couple of tech areas, and I just went ahead and did them. But main thing, though, Nitro will kind of be our baseline, and again, I can reference my stats for you, kind of get everything ironed out that end. But Boomjet, really, really cool. Again, Mega Man, Brett Favre, Jet Rocket, he's kind of got that vibe to me. So his upgrades sound really interesting, and again, he's one of the characters I wish had like an alternate version coming out or something, just so I could take this guy down one path, take the other down these separate paths. As is, I guess, we'll just have to come in, bite the bullet, pick up a second one, unless there's like a chase variant, which, granted, if it's a chase variant, it might be really hard to come by, but you get the drift. I won't ramble on too much more about that. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. That'll keep you up with all the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here where we will be introducing Magna Charge.